we're here in Montserrat and you're doing your 4th album. Do you find it, when you're coming in the studio, increasingly difficult to match what you've done before? Because you've had such big hits, you've got to get one better than that.
I think the recording process gets easier as we get more and more experienced at doing it. You know, we come in and we have a sort of formula, we just get down to it. Whereas in the first place, we were kind of experimenting with roles and what exactly to do. What I do find increasingly hard is writing material.
Mm-hmm.
And topping your last best song is a nightmare.
Mm.
When I wrote Roxanne, I thought, I like that, it's really good. Will I ever write one better? And then I wrote Message in a Bottle, which I thought was better than Roxanne. And you go on, you do actually better yourself, but it becomes harder and harder.
What's your favourite of your songs so far?
My favourite song is probably Message in a Bottle, both lyrically and musically. I think it's the most unified piece I've written.
When do you get time to write? I mean, if you're on the road most of the time, which you are, I mean, do you write when you're on the road?
I've got lots of little boxes, excuse me. I wrote Message in a Bottle in a bus, in the back of a bus on this, which is a tape recorder with a drum machine in. I'll show you. It's supposed to go off now. Yeah. Play along with it, you know, like this. In the back of a bus. Well, that's nice.
So, well, let's go into Message in a Bottle then. I mean, how did you write that?
Well, let's go further back even. I mean, as a songwriter, as a composer, you like the sound of certain chords. And I like the sound of, say, D minor ninth. But I also like what follows it, which is A9.
Yeah.
And the combination is... Oh, that's good. That's good. I like that. Where do we take it from there? Go up to B, F sharp. And over 2 bars, you've got a sequence. And you start humming along.
So the music comes first, is it, before any lyrics?
No, that's not true. It comes from 2 different areas. You put your music hat on, and you sit and write a riff, and then you go away with your notepad and you write lyrics down. And sooner or later they meet. But by using tape recorders, you can keep track of your ideas because they sort of fly around your head.
So, I mean, with Message in a Bottle, were all the bits there, did they all come at once, or did you have like one bit there?
No, it all happened very slowly. As I say, I had this sequence going on of the chords. By arpeggiating, you get the riff. So if we stick it down...
This is how you demoed it and presented it to the band, is it?
I get home from the bus.
Yeah.
And I stick Dennis the drum box on.
Yeah, there he goes.
Because Stuart's not always available.
No. Probably keeps better time, really.
I set this tape recorder away, like so, and put this riff down, just for memory.
Yeah.
Mistakes as well.
Yeah.
Wind it back, turn Dennis off.
Yeah.
Leave it for a day, go back to it, listen to it, and play along with it, see what happens. Play some sort of harmony with it.
Yeah. Before you've even got to like another part, like a chorus or something like that.
Yeah. Well, just muck around. Where are we? Put a harmony on it. Like. Thing is, you know, most nights when you do that, it sounds awful.
Yeah.
I've had too much to drink, or the riff in the first place was lousy. In this case, it was good. So then you think, well, what should I do next? Put Dennis back on. Go on. Ah, there he is. You think, right, that's a good verse, right, let's have some rock and roll in it.
Would this be something that you maybe come up with before, like an idea for a chorus?
Maybe it's in the, you know, you pile the tapes away, because it hasn't fitted anywhere. And all the time you're sort of mumbling rubbish, you know. And when you got a reasonable structure, you know, written with a chorus, you go to the big pile of lyrics, which you write all the time. You can write them anywhere. You can write them in a bus stop, you can write them in the pub. And you just look through them and you see Message in a Bottle. Oh, that's an interesting title, because I write from titles.
Yeah.
I don't write the first line of a song.
Yeah.
It's a mistake, because then you have to come up with the second one.
Mm.
If you write backwards from the chorus line, which is usually the hook, then you usually come up with it. So I had this Message in a Bottle. What's Message in a Bottle about? It's usually about some guy with raggy trousers and a beard on a desert island.
Well, how then? I mean, so you've got the rough idea for the chorus there, and then the idea for the verse. So how then do you present it to the band? Well, you
join all the bits of tape together in a sort of rough fashion, you know, with sort of very rough parts on, and say, "Hello, Andy and Stuart, I got a new song," and they go, "Oh, it's really good. I promise, it's dead good." And you know, they learn it and then they adapt it and change it. Yeah. It's lucky to have brilliant musicians. Yeah,
I mean, yeah, they said that.
Well, we're paying each other, but you know, you could go along to say some duff musicians and they wouldn't get the same thing out of the same material.
So you had 4 weeks in which to write most of the material for this album. Did you find it sort of only came in the last week or something like that?
No, as I say, I write in bits and bobs. You know, a bit here, a bit there. It is like a jigsaw.
Yeah.
In the last
and in the last
weeks,
week you had all the. Oh, we'll go with that one.
Yeah.
Well, you were mentioning a song a minute ago that's going to be on this new album.
One song I really like on the album is called The Invisible Sun, which I wrote on this thing here. This is my pedals.
Really? It was actually written on this?
Well, yeah, in a way. This is like a foot piano, which I play on stage as a bass sound. I've also got a synthesizer sound. Yeah. So I was just sitting at home one night with playing E flat on there, and I played this. Great.
So it was straight down, yeah? Did Dennis get involved?
Dennis was involved at a later date, like so. That's all right. Change the chord. You can see why we have Andy Summers in the group.
Yeah. He's a man for the chords.
No, he's a man for playing the guitar.
Oh, I see, yeah.
I bring these duff.
Did you? I mean,
renditions along to him.
When you do give the song to the band, do you always go into rehearsal room first, or do you come straight into the recording studio?
I haven't got time to go rehearsal room. We go straight in the studio, and if it's not happening within half an hour, we ditch it.
Go on to something else.
Yeah, we're very impatient, but I think that's a good way. The pressure's always on. You know, it has to be good very soon, very quickly. Yeah. If it's not, out the window. Do
you have it live, or do you have a lot of overdubs and edits?
It usually has to work with the 3 musicians playing it and me singing. Yeah. And that's usually good enough.
Yeah. OK, well, of course, the other member of the band who we can now meet is Brian.
Yes, this is Brian. He's one of a kind, and he's had his ghoulies chopped off.
How about Brian, eh?
Off with the ghoulies. Yeah, he used to have one of those, you know, sort of bell-shaped.
All around him, yeah.
Violin. It was a big violin. So we gave him the operation. Yeah. And ended up with this, and electrified.
He's not all high-pitched, is he?
What?
Go on, sorry.
Yeah, a bit too clever, aren't you? He's hollow, you see. He's not like one of those pogo sticks with strings on. Sound like cricket bats. It's got a sound.
Was he specially made for you?
He was specially made for me by a man called Van Zallinger. Stuart's got one as well. Creep. See? Lovely rich sound. Look, stop acting like an idiot when you play the piano.
OK, then.
Prove yourself to be an idiot.
Pretend
he doesn't know any of the answers.
Right, then.
Do you know, No, I can't say that. Play something in C.
OK.
It's on the white notes, right?
Yep.
I'll try and play some white notes on here. 1, 2. 1, 2.